let's introduce you to abstract flower painting. You will need your colors. I'm using pink instead of red just because I had a really good pink match to this. But we have blue, yellow, black and white, just your primary colors with black and white. And we begin with pink or red and white, and you're going to put them both on the plate. You're not mixing them with a brush. You will see here we're using a little roller, and it's a foam roller, and what it does is it catches little bits of the pink, little bits of the white, and it immediately means that you let go of control because you don't have these blocks of color. So you actually use the tool to navigate you rather than, and the water that we'll bring up in a little minute too, that is your lead rather than it being you controlling it from your brain through to the brush. So we're adding water here and we're mixing a little bit more of the white. You will see now you start to get even more kind of patchiness. And look at that. Once you add drips in, it again will start to stress you or get you excited. I find that drips really do help me to lean into abstract art and how to let go of perfection. You'll see I forgot to do my tapes here. Very important to put tape onto your paper because it will stop the paper from curling once it gets too wet. And when we're working with abstract, we want to use all the textures, all the colors, and just to really enjoy it. So when you look at flowers, you will see there is the bright color of the petals, and then we have this massive green. So you know I love to teach you how to mix paint. So we are mixing our lemon yellow with our ultramarine blue. And we now have a palette knife. So for this, you will need all the different tools which are listed below. And we're just starting to make marks. If you look at the flowers beside us, they are made up of like whimsical little leaves, and you'll see that the light and the shade of the day started to change too as I was actually doing this in my own house. But we want to replicate that, and a palette knife's really good for that. You will see that the shape of a leaf is just exactly like that lovely little pointed shape. So that's what a palette knife will do. This is a very small palette knife because I'm working on little A5 sheets. And now we're going to move on to our piece of kitchen roll. You don't need to use kitchen towel. You can use, I used a t-shirt recently and one of my kids' socks, but we're going to just push into the paint. So this is now, when you look at your flowers, you have those strong colors, the dark colors that we move away, they're darker, and then the lighter colors come towards us. So whenever we mix into an abstract piece which is based on a subject, we want to bring that to the artwork. And what this does is when we soften the colors, it means we can pull paint from one place to the other and we soften how it looks. So you will see now that we have our strong pinks, which we weren't allowed to determine. And then we have our, because of the little foam roller, then we have our strong thick paint from the palette knife, our soft paint, and now we have, you'll see in my previous video, that if you put a piece of graphite or a pencil onto a paintbrush or a stick, then you also lose control. Because this is your first introduction to flowers in an abstract manner, I want you to allow yourself to sketch on little pieces of the flowers. So I wish I had a camera to zoom in on this, but you will see that there are little buds. So the buds are just a little bit like a cinnamon swirl. Then we have, I've turned these, I actually started to envision them a bit more like a bouquet. So we just added in those little scribbles, which again allows you to feel like it is something, if that makes sense. This is a real introduction for you. So we're just bringing back red, which I was saying I didn't use before, and we have our nice pink here. We're making a really solid shade, and it is, as you look at the flowers in the vase, I am now letting myself fill in a shape of those flowers in each one. So one of the little rosebuds that you will use to sketch with your graphite pencil or your pencil that is attached via tape to another paintbrush, you are now filling in the little gaps, which again settles the brain whenever you're in this like pure introduction to abstract art. And now we're going to add some white and a little bit of blue so that we change the color and we have then like a darker version of that. It's basically like a purpley version. When we want to make a deeper red or a deeper tone of red, if you're looking at lights and darks and you're mixing them yourself, we want there to be a slight shift in what we see. And we're using a large brush. This is not a little brush because the big brush, and all I'm doing here is turning the brush over and I'm doing it quickly. So we're making the marks quickly so that we don't get lost in it. And I already absolutely love these. I love that there are the little rosebuds that you can see. There are variations of the green. And then you can just revisit with tools. I brought in the roller, but I didn't want to take away from those strong flowers that are already there, and they're very secure and solid. But I did want there to be remnants of the other colors around. So that's what I'm doing. I'm now having a little study of it because remember, we're doing this all in fast time and we want to really feel like there's a lot of life and energy in what we're making. And now I'm just folding up some kitchen towel and I'm going to go in to the white. Oh, sorry, it's not kitchen towel. This is actually a piece of plastic and it's bubble wrap is what it is. So what that does is it holds on to part of the paint, but it means that you don't get you don't get the full contact because the little bubbles keep you back. So some will be on the surface of the bubble and other bits will go behind. And that means that you can really get more texture. So that's me picking up on the white flowers in the bouquet that we can see here. Now, I've just gone and got a smaller brush and we're going for a lime green. So we used our nice dark green to begin with, and now this has just got a little bit more yellow on it. And as with any painting, whether you were doing this abstract or not, you build it out. So we have those dark colors going back and we have the light colors coming forward. By this stage, you must constantly look at your subject matter. Even though you can't see my face doing that, I'm constantly looking and shifting and thinking, what can I pick up from the bouquet into what I see here? You'll see me looking, my eyes are fleeting all over the place. And I'm just going to add now a little bit more. I think I ran out of white at this stage and obviously forgot to edit this little bit when I'm doing the voiceover now, but it gives you time to take it all in. So we have white into our lime green. It's actually what I'm trying to do here, because I remember making it, is trying to make a shade of our lemony white flowers. So they're not bright white. So I'm now adding in a softer shade. And I love this stage because you'll see that we now have buds. We have flowers in this little abstract piece. And you can follow the lines that you used with the graphite pencil. I'm bringing it in now closer for you to see. So look at that, beautiful textures. We have the thick paint from our palette knife. This is your introduction to abstract. We have those smooth layers. Look at that beautiful textures when you're up close from the little very cheap roller, a little foam roller. You could even use a sponge. Then we have those softer pieces again, which almost look like spray paint that we have used with softening the kitchen tile, or you can use a piece of fabric. But the beauty of learning abstract is you learn to look at so much more than just what's in front of you. The painting calls you in and it's a beautiful representation